spot it because you got it. It's just a pretty catchy phrase of a way to say, like, hey, you're seeing something that really annoys you about someone. It's because it's something that annoys you about yourself. We often spot our flaws and our own shortcomings in others, and because it triggers that and it's something that we don't like about ourselves, we want to distance ourselves from it, not just internally by denying that it's something that we deal with, but also because we want to then put that characteristic on somebody else to even distance ourselves further from it, and then we will judge that and push that person away with disconnecting emotions like anger, frustration, or hatred. So spot it because you got it. It's a pretty great phrase. I use it to call myself out on when I'm judging people because I am battling the same behavioral issues that I'm spotting in the other person or the other situation. I also do it internally. I call out other people in my mind to note, like, oh, they're really, really threatened by this thing. They must be dealing with that themselves, or not dealing with it, but it must be something that's residing within them. And I think there's a lot of value to this phrase and to this thinking because I think it's true. I don't think we're able to have such an emotional response to things unless we have some kind of experience with it. I think it's a very empathic thing. I definitely will often sometimes judge people for being judgmental because I myself am judgmental and trying to be less so. But I can own up to that, and so I will call myself out. I spot it because I got it. But it also makes me relate to that person a lot more, and I'm able to be more compassionate. So this is something that I think maybe a lot of people already know, and they're like, yeah, hell, I totally know this. We often see things that we don't like in ourselves and others, and then we judge people for those things that we don't like. It's not a common thing. However, there is something that I don't think gets talked about, and it's a pretty powerful side to spot it because you got it, and it's one that I don't think I've never heard anyone tell me this, but I'm kind of proud because this is one I figured out on my own. It's just so hard to believe, but it's true. If we are able to spot negative characteristics of ourselves in other people and call them out on it because we ourselves have it residing within us, well then it's got to be true for positive things too. So if there's a characteristic that we see about somebody that we like, you know, they're a strong leader, or they're able to stand up for themselves, or they're just so relaxed and chill and they're so cool, that's something that we're identifying because we ourselves have those characteristics. They just may not be out in our conscious side where we can see it. It might just be buried in our shadowlands, in our shadow side. It just might be something that we hide from ourselves or from others. But we see in others because we ourselves have it within us. There's no reason that that principle would go only one way. Why would it only apply to negative things? It doesn't. It applies to positive things too. I just think that it's so much harder for us to want to accept that we could be like that, or that we are like that, and that we do have those capabilities. It's just something to consider. So the next time you might be envious of somebody because they have a characteristic that you want, consider that, well, you spot it because you got it. And that you also can have that too. You just have to admit it and recognize that possibility. And sure, it might just be an atrophied part of ourselves. It's something we don't exercise, so it might be kind of like weak and frail and like, help me, please, hear me, help me. Give it attention. Listen to it. Believe it. Believe it. If you spot it, you got it. We often only can recognize things because it resonates within us, because we feel it within ourselves. So hey, if you spot it, you got it. And that's always going to be an amazing thing, either way, because either way, you're going to learn something about yourself, and you can admit that, hey, yeah, I do judge people, or hey, yeah, I am capable of being a leader, or I am capable of creating great art like this person. I just have to exercise it. I bring this all up because I am going to start talking about things that bother me, and I will probably be judgmental, but I'm kind of putting it all out there is that whenever I'm judging, it's because I'm struggling with something that I struggle with within myself. So, thanks for watching and keeping up with production. I'm getting faster, and that's what I want. And hopefully I'll be able to get more creative with my production once I get my baseline down. Alright, I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Going to outro.
You're only smooching yourself back! And now I'm pushing myself! Now I'm pushing myself!